I got to admit, folks, when you show up, it makes my day. I'm John Zidar. This is On Top and Hot, and this is the weekend of February 14th. Now, if you know me, if you watch my videos, you know what I like to do. I like to share hot penny stocks with you. I'm a day trader, and I primarily focus in on stocks under $5. And I'm always keeping my eye open for a stock that has heat, for a stock that has potential to make us some money. And with that in mind, I got a hot stock to share with you. This is ticker EDBL-Edible Gardens. Edible Gardens is a hot penny stock for two reasons, and in this order. One, she's got a hot chart, and two, she's got a catalyst. Folks, when I go looking for hot penny stocks, I don't bother with the press releases or the filings initially. I look at the charts first. I want a chart that's on the edge of the ledge of a breakout, one that has a bullish pattern that looks like it's ready to run. When I find a hot chart, I just go looking for a reason for it to run. I go through the press releases and the filings, but not just today, yesterday's, or even this week's. I'll go over the whole month. Any reason can get a hot chart running. And Edible has a lot of reasons to run. So now is a perfect time to be looking at her. Edible Gardens is an American company. She's based out of New Jersey. She finished Friday just a little over 20 cents and she was up almost 14%, jumping almost a quarter. Now this is a hot penny stock on the major exchange, giving you a host of benefits over those penny stocks on the OTC, which I trade, but I prefer the major exchange penny stocks because, first off, they're free to trade. I don't have to pay to buy my shares and I don't have to pay to sell my shares. Plus, I can trade them pre-market aftermarket. Some of the biggest gains you can make are during pre-market aftermarket because there are no halts for volatility. You can get unhindered runs during those periods of time. Never get that opportunity with OTC. Plus, there's a lot more volume and a lot more money on the major exchange, which we need, and a lot more rules keeping those companies honest. We need that too. So what is Edible Gardens all about? Well, she is in the food sector. She is in the agricultural business growing leafy vegetables and herbs. Edible Gardens Incorporated, together with its subsidiaries, operates as a controlled environment agricultural farming company. That is CEA for short. Just think of it as greenhouse growing. They don't have to deal with any external elements. No pollution, bad weather, animals, slugs, insects, nothing. It's all indoors controlled. So you know you're getting organic, clean food. The company offers a variety of packaged products, including, you ready for this? Cilantro, rosemary, mint, thyme, oregano, bay leaves, chives, poultry mix, sage, dill, butter crunch living lettuce, basil, living butterhead lettuce, parsley, arugula spring mix, baby arugula blend, baby romaine, and crisp branch and Caesar salad kits. Now, yes, they do grow vegetables in two different places in the country, Michigan and New Jersey. However, they are expanding into other areas of the food market. They are dealing now with protein products. They are dealing with superfoods. They are also dealing with condiments. And we're going to get more information on that as we roll along. Jumping on over to their website, get a little more information about the company. Edible Gardens is a leader in locally grown, organic, leafy greens and herbs backed by zero waste inspired next generation farming. That has been their big push here in maybe the last year, going green. Getting all their packaging right, getting the emissions on their deliveries right, getting gases that are inside the packagings that they have right, dealing with their pots because they sell live herbs, and these pots are compost ready, so you don't have to worry about plastic or anything like that. Their products are currently offered at over 4,000 stores in the United States. Lots of big stores, Walmart's, Myers, and a lot of other stores out there. And they've had these contracts for a long time, and they just keep adding to them. As they get more products, they just keep getting bigger and bigger contracts with these big conglomerate stores. Edible Gardens is disrupting the CEA and sustainability technology movement with its safety in farming protocols, use of sustainable packaging, patented green thumb software, and self-watering in-store displays. Their Green Thumb software is a very sophisticated software that is helping them grow their food the best way possible, and it tracks their food from point A to point B. The company currently operates its own state-of-the-art greenhouses and processing facilities in Belvidere, New Jersey and Grand Rapids, Michigan, and has a network of contract growers all strategically located near major markets in the U.S. Its proprietary Green Thumb software optimizes growing in vertical and traditional greenhouses while seeking to reduce pollution-generating food miles. The company is also a developer of ingredients and proteins, providing an accessible line of plant and whey protein powders under the Vitamin Whey, W-A-Y, and Vitamin Whey, W-H-E-Y brands. In addition, the company offers a line of sustainable food flavoring products such as pulp, gourmet sauces, and chili-based products. So as you can see, their products are expanding. And their product line isn't just expanding on their own accord, it's because their business is expanding. They have just come through a merger with a company that is making strong revenues in Europe, and this is going to give them a foothold over in Europe, and Europe is going to get their products over here. But I am getting ahead of myself. Let's jump on over the news so I can explain that to you. I got a lot of news here, folks, and I have gone through these. I have actually read these, but I'm not going to go through them all with you. I'm going to headline most of them, but I'll give you some insights to what I remember in each one of these. So we've gone all the way back to mid-December. We have two pieces of news here. You're going to notice on the charts, this is December 19th through the 23rd, the charts ran. For 3 days, they climb, 300% run. These are the two pieces of news we have. Edible Garden's preliminary sales results during key Thanksgiving time period surges 51%. Edible Garden enters into warrant exercise transaction of $3 million in gross proceeds. So they did great business during Thanksgiving. I can see that being good news. This $3 million warrant exercise, well, the first thing that did was give the company money. Woohoo! All right, that's good for them. But what it did was every warrant that was exercised gave birth to a new share. I don't know how many shares were involved with $3 million, but that got added onto the float. So there was a little bit of share dilution there. Then we have some news here at the beginning of January on the 6th. Michigan gives them a Pro Talent Fund Award grant. This isn't money to the company. It is paying for employees to be trained in the business of learning this agricultural business. Then they tell us that that surge they had at Thanksgiving of 51% during that period helped them to hit a 45% year-over-year increase in their sales. They are bettering their technology. On the 10th of January, they enhanced their patented Green Thumb 2.0 greenhouse management system. Then we have the big piece of news here. Edible Garden signs non-binding letter of intent to acquire Narian Group to expand into the European and North American market. Now, we are going to dive into this piece of news, and I got some tidbits here to share with you, but it's all important, folks. Money, money, money. This came out January 13th. The company announced the signing of a non-binding letter of intent to purchase 100% of Narian, a prominent producer of organic coconut and superfood products. The Narian Group is headquartered in Slavia, so they are European. Let's get some information about the company down here. Where we got it? Right here, about Narian Group. The Narian Group produces over 100 organic food products that are certified vegan and organic. Its products are sold and distributed by many of the largest food retailers, primarily in Europe and the US. Now check this out. The company is ranked number 3 food retailer in the world by international revenues by Aldi. Is ranked number 4 food retailer in the world by international revenues according to Top 50 Global Retailers 2024 by the National Retail Foundation. Folks, I don't understand how they're getting these rankings, but that's huge. Number 3 and number 4 on international revenues in the world. They go on to tell us that Narian products are available through retail channels with a combined reach of approximately 75,000 retail stores globally, located in more than 30 countries, primarily within Europe. The Narian Group business currently operates in two core food product segments, organic coconut and superfoods. The organic coconut product segment includes a range of packaged organic coconut foods any way you can think about it, folks. They also deal with assorted types of superfoods, grains, seeds, pulses, nuts, a whole big line of them here. The Narian growth strategy includes entry now into the United States and the Canadian markets, and Edible Foods is going to follow them on that trail. So they're going to get their food into Canada and Europe as well. Coming back up here to the top, I got more information for you. They tell us here that Narian Group did approximately $31 million at the end of 2024, right? Between the two companies, they anticipate to do about $60 million this year. So keep that in mind when we look at their financials. They are projecting $60 million at the end of 2025. Down here, they tell us that the proposed transaction is for 100% of the company. Included in this deal is a reverse stock split. Yes. So we don't know when this is going to close. That was the one thing I was looking for in all of this information, was a date, a period, a window. Couldn't find one. They say when all the boxes are ticked. Well, we don't know when that's going to happen. And it can take a while. But we're looking at this stock to run Monday, Tuesday. We're looking at a run right now. The reverse stock split isn't going to happen now. It's going to be down the road at some point in time. But if you are looking at this company for a long hold, and I think this would be a great company for a long hold. They are with huge stores getting bigger contracts, and food is always a commodity. Definitely is. And organic food is always going to have a place in society. So we've got this sitting on the table, which is a huge factor right now for getting this stock to run. That is one of them. I've still got more to share with you here. The next piece of news comes out on the 14th. Edible Garden's Kick brand, which is a sports nutrition, is to launch exclusively on Amazon. They are partnering with Piranha, which are experts in maximizing Amazon growth. So they've got a whole new line exclusively on Amazon. It's the only place you can get this product. I'm not quite sure what it is. They have a new contract with Una Pizza Napolitana. So business is growing, small contracts, big contracts. Here is some more Walmart mentionings. They just keep doing more and more with Walmart. Here in February, Edible Gardens announces favorable preliminary results from the USDA and the EPA supported Brazil Nano Bubble Demonstration Project. This one I did want to dive into, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to explain it to you because there's two sentences, which is all you need to know. The nanobubble technology is a way of injecting oxygen into the water, kind of becoming hydrogen peroxide now. And it helps the food to grow 30% faster. And they're getting more than 50% extra produce. 51% increase in 30% less time. So that is a huge deal. That's going to help their numbers generate some nice revenues. Then on the 11th, they are bringing out their Squeezables. It's a fresh condiment line, shelf stable, stir into pasta, herbs, redefining fresh flavor. This is my kind of foods, folks. As a bachelor, I'm always looking for easy ways to make my macaroni and cheese taste different. I'm always looking for these Squeezables to put on my hot dogs and burgers. So we've got a whole new line here of food. So the company is expanding their product lines more and more and more. They are getting bigger contracts with bigger stores all the time. And they are conscientious about what the consumer wants. Not only good, clean food, but they want it brought to them with the green aspects. Let's be careful about how many emissions we're putting out there to bring the food to market. And this company's doing a lot in that arena. So they've got everything going on for them right now. Do I have anything else I can share with you? Actually, I have a couple of things. First off, we mentioned that reverse stock split. Well, they have a shareholder meeting. Looks like it already happened. It did. They voted on a reverse stock split. it is going to be between nothing less than a 1 for 5 and nothing more than a 1 for 25 stock split. Again, they did not give us a time period. We don't have a table here. They just told us it is at discretion of the board of directors. That means they can use it anytime they want. But this is part of the merger deal. They need to do this to complete the deal. So they're not going to just do it if they don't do the deal. So it will be done for a good reason. And we don't know when. It's going to be down the road. So we don't have to worry about it right now. The last thing I've got here is another filing. They are putting more shares on the market. They are selling about $2.5 million worth of shares, but they're not doing it all at once. They're doing a little here and a little there whenever they need a little bit of extra money, which is okay. They're increasing the float a little at a time. It is growing, but they're growing the float, the share structure, as their company is growing, as the revenues are growing. So things are growing in proportion, which is a wise thing for a company to do. So everything looks really good for this company. Let's go take a look at the relative volume for edibles today. Friday, that is. Well, we've got more than double her normal volume. She went from 6.7 million, well, that is virtually double, to 15.5 million on Friday. Share structure, let's cross our fingers. Hey, that's not bad at all. Outstanding share count, we're at about 19 million. I don't know what the insiders own. I could subtract that from the outstanding. That would give me our float, what they call the unrestricted shares. I don't know what it is, but I do know that the float can't be any higher than the outstanding share count, so it won't be any more than 18.9 million. And we know it's going to be less. You know the insiders own something. So we've got ourselves a very good float here. I'm not going to call it a low float, but it is. It's a low float. So we have a decent float. We've got lots of catalysts. We have a hot chart. I'm expecting some good run out of this. Looking at our market cap, we are currently at just under 4 million. Financials. So what have they been doing? Well, over the last 4 years, remembering to add 3 zeros to any of the numbers here, they have been climbing steadily. 2019, we were at 5.6 million, jumping to 10.5, then to 11.5, now to 14 million at the end of 2023. And we are doing annual right now. It should be coming out anytime. But the profit was falling over the last 3 years hard. They were making more money, but their profits were going down. Now the profits are starting to come back up. We're at 822,000 for 14 million. Looking at their quarterlies. Over the last year, they have been bouncing up and down from roughly 2.5 million to 4 million. And the profits are bouncing around as well. Taking a look at that balance sheet for the company, remembering those 3 zeros here as well. Cash and cash equivalents, I think of this as the bank. We got about 2.2 million in the bank. Total assets, we're at about 8.6 million. Liabilities is less. We're at 5.6 million. So we are holding positive stockholder equity of 3.2 million. So we've got revenues. Our profits in the black. Could be better, but it's in the black. And we got positive stockholder equity. From a day trader standpoint, this is in good shape. From an investor standpoint, this isn't bad shape at all. Taking a look at those disclosures. As I said, their most recent financial was that September one. That is right here, the 10Q. This is the period for which they filed. This is when they filed. Going up here, you can see there's no other 10Qs or 10Ks. So we've got one coming out, and I'm expecting it to be better than last year's by a long shot. We've got some SG13Gs here, which are normally good news. This is when a new investor comes in and buys so many shares of the company's stock, they become an insider. They become part owner of the company. Problem is, all of these have zeros in them. I have no idea what that's about, but I'm not real worried about it. We've got all sorts of catalysts here, folks. We've got a merger with a company that's already making strong revenues, and their revenues mixed with this company's revenues are going to give them something like 60 million at the end of 2025. They're getting more food products, coconut and superfood products. They're going to be moving into Europe. while all of those superfood and coconut products are going to be moving over to here. So this is explosive growth that is just coming into the picture right now. Now we want to see that chart explode, don't we? Yeah, let's go take a look at it. We're going to chart edible gardens now on my free trading platform, Think or Swim. We're looking at ticker EDBL on a 1-day, 1-year chart. This will give us an overall direction of where the chart's been going and tell us what the 52-week high and low is. So the chart, well, you can see she's been in a downtrend for the entire year. Right now, she is finally leveled out, and believe it or not, she's starting to hook up. It was back in April, we had our 52-week high of $12.47, and she fell to a 52-week low in November from $12 down to 12 cents. Now, I want you to notice something here, folks. The price is underneath the 200 MA. It's a bully. It hinders the price from climbing very, very often. The price fell down to the 200 Hall. The 200 Hall is akin to the 200 MA. They're cousins. They have the same strength, the same authority, but the 200 Hall is friendly. It likes to help the price to move up. And you can see that right here. When the price came down to the 200 Hall, it absorbed some power from it. 3 big bounces off of here. Remember, these bars represent an entire day of trading. So this one ran up $5. This was a $7 run. That's another $5 run. I don't know what caused them to run, but they were running hard on the share structure we have right now. And I mention that because right here, we had a 1-in-20 reverse stock split just before the first run. Now, everything behind that 1-in-20 is going to be multiplied by that ratio of 20. So if you see the stock's price 2 years ago hit a high of $1, look at it now. It says $20. And it's going to stay that way forever. I don't know why they do it. I hate it. It's false information, fake news. Somebody comes and looks at it a year from now. They don't know to divide by 20, which is what you've got to do. But everything on this side of the reverse stock split, we can trust the numbers. Don't worry about that. All of our oscillators are just now starting to come up. The yearly chart is just now starting to warm up. Let's come on down to our 6-month, 4-hour view. There's a lot of heat to be seen here. So we've got our downtrend happening. 6 months ago, we had a high of $2.20. That 200 got close. She did break through it, but there's no way she's going to break out because that 200 is still falling. 98% of the time, you will see a breakout fail on a falling 200. So she fell hard right here, and I don't know why she fell from roughly $1 down to 20 cents. And then she hit that low, and she's been going sideways. Now, I would have expected another breakout attempt right here at this 200. It didn't do it. So now, because it refused to even try to break out, I wouldn't even be watching this stock. So I would miss what just happened here. She went sideways underneath the 200 until December 19th and the 23rd. Remember I told you those 2 days those 3 days this was running. Off of those 2 pieces of news, she went from 14 cents up to roughly 60 cents. So you're looking at over 300% run right there. She came back down underneath the halfway point of my Fibonacci. I like to use a Fibonacci, which are magic numbers. It is a science we have recognized in nature. We see it in galaxies, we see it in flowers, we see it in energy. We use it to solve problems. We just don't understand how it works. It's a mystery, but we know it works. And we introduced it into the financial world, and it works here too. And these are like magic numbers that the price responds to. It acts like these are supports and resistances, even though they're not attached to any historical price points. So when I put up my Fibonacci, I find the halfway point, the 50% mark. If the price falls down to that mark and stays above it, it's in the green zone, chances are it's most likely to start climbing. If it falls from its high underneath the 50% mark, chances are it's going to fall down to a strong MA, which is exactly what it did here. She fell underneath, she was fighting to get up, couldn't do it, failed miserably, fell down to her 200 MA here. She went sideways for a while, took another drop when she hit the 200 Hall. fell all the way down here, and right now she is breaking out. And there's a lot to talk about here, folks. First, let's look at this big green bar. This, to me, is a signal that she's about ready to break out. There are two sides to this coin. This bar jumps from wherever it's at all the way up to the 200-day MA. That is the solid bar. It can go up to it and touch it, but not go over it. I then want to see a wick spit out of that bar over top of the 200 as high as it can go. This is outstanding. This is a really long wick. Now, the other side of the coin is the second bar. The following bar cannot go any lower than where the first bar went. So these two bars tell me 98% out of 100, this is going to break out. It's not telling me when, it's just giving me an indicator. It's telling me it's probably going to happen, so start watching it. So between point A, my directional intentional spike, that's what I call this bloody thing, and point B, my breakout point, I really don't care what happens here. It can fall, it can go sideways, it can bounce. I'm not worried. All I'm watching for is a breakout. Now, normally that breakout is going to set up into a 200 squeeze. The 200 squeeze is my favorite breakout, folks. Let me see if I can get this nice so you can see it. We have our 200 MA on the top. Normally it's falling. This one is just starting to climb, which is even better. It's making it easier for this all to happen. Then we have our 200 haul on the bottom. The 200 haul is going to help push that price, and when it pushes, you're going to know because it's pushing up. As soon as that 200 haul goes flat and turns up, mine changes color. Because it happens so abruptly, I want to know when it's changed direction. When this changes direction, you're going to get a strong push on the price. And this normally happens when the price is sitting on the 50. That is a 200 squeeze. 200 MA on the top, 200 haul on the bottom, price sitting in the middle on the 50. Get ready, folks. Houston, we have a launch coming. You'll normally see the bars get very big and the price will push to and through the 200. Now, this is already happening, but I think we have a lot more that this can do. Normally what ends up happening when this breaks out, it is just the initial breakout. Took a lot of energy to break through that 200. So it's going to come back down to the 200 and have to rest. And it's going to bounce on that 200. And while it's bouncing, the 200 is turning up, getting stronger and stronger. Couple of bounces, and then boom, if she's got reason to run, and we got lots of reason, she's going to take off. And this is looking very promising to me. Looking at our oscillators, volume is coming into the picture, right? We've had no volume to really talk about except that directional intentional spike right there. Our PPO has just had a crossover and is starting to climb. We can see our ADX, which is my favorite oscillator. It's got 3 lines on it. The red line signifies a downtrend. The green line signifies an uptrend. Whichever one is on the top, that's what you got on your chart. Well, our green is on the top, and it goes from 0% to 100. It's at the very, very top, and it's pointing up right now. Extra power. So this is really strong, and our downtrend is running away, going to the weakest zone down to the bottom. So this is very strong. That yellow line tells me how strong the dominant trend is. When it's at the bottom, it's weak. When it moves up to the top, it's super strong. We can see it climbing right now. So everything looks good on our ADX. The MACD, we just had a crossover, and look at how big these bars are getting. Boom, boom, boom. This is exploding fast, folks. And our RSI just zoomed from 42 up to 77 and is now in the overbought. This is blazing hot right now, folks. Coming down to our 20-day 1-hour view. Showing a downtrend here. She's bouncing up and over that 200, but she's not going to break out. She's just showing initiative. Then we had our directional intentional spike right there. I don't care what she does between point A and point breakout. She's gotten down here, and what do we show here, folks? We have an atypical breakout. There's our 200 MA on the top, 200 haul on the bottom. Just turned blue, just started to climb. What happened? There's the proof in the pudding, folks. You'll see this over and over and over again, and nobody talks about this setup but me. I love it because it breaks out 8 out of 10 times easily. Soon as this turns blue, if the price is sitting on top of the 50, you are going to see the price go to and through the 200. This is proof. You go watch any of my videos. You'll see me point this out over and over and over again, folks. This is a juicy nugget I am sharing with you. We have lots of volume on Friday, lots of volume, even more volume after market. Oh my God, I didn't realize she was this bloody strong. I found this on Friday and wanted to talk about it and didn't get back to the charts until now. Ooh. All of our other oscillators are pushing up. Look at this, climbing. Look, our yellow and green line are together on the ADX. That's as strong as you can get. Our MACD is soaring to the moon. We are still in the overbought on our hourly chart. I'm really excited about this one. All right, looking at our 5-day, 15-minute chart, folks, she's on a hot run. Now, luckily, we already have our supports and resistances in here. Now, the 50% mark is right, where is that bad boy? Right there. It is the yellow one. So we are going to be pushing our way to that yellow point. Once she gets over top of this, she's going to want to run even stronger. So don't think you've missed out on this, folks. We're getting a lot of stocks right now that are taking gains and then taking stronger gains, and they're running all day. So even when a stock falls back, watch these gaps. This is a gap between 24 and 30 cents, so that's 6 cents. You buy 1,000 shares of this stock, you will make $10 for every penny it moves for 1,000 shares. So you would make $60 on that run. Well, if she jumps up to there, sell. When she falls back down, buy again. She'll come and hit her head again. Folks, I've seen people play one bounce 5, 6, 7 times in a day. It just goes sideways. And while other people are complaining, it just won't go up, it won't go up. They're making money on a big bounce over and over again. For every 1,000 shares you buy of any stock at any price, you'll make $10 for every penny the stock moves. So we're going to watch this move through these supports and resistances until she gets to that yellow mark right there. This is at 35 cents, and then I expect her to start climbing even faster. All of our oscillators here show a little bit of cooling off. You can see she settled on this strong support at 24 cents. Why did she start going sideways? It's easy. She didn't have much to bounce off of. This is a very thin, cracker thin MA, 9 days. The 20 is twice as thick. It's waiting for some more support. It's waiting for this 20 to catch up to it. And if the 20 isn't strong enough, it will dip, most likely through the 20 because it's anxious. It's tired of waiting. It'll dip through the 20 and get down to this dynamic duo of the 50 and the 200 haul, and it will most likely bounce off of that. So that's the setup. She's waiting for the 20 to catch up. That's why she's going sideways. As soon as it does, if she has the courage, she'll bounce off that 20. If not, she will get anxious and dip through the 20 down to the duo here, and she'll bounce off of that puppy and go. 95%. That's what I'm saying. That's just my opinion. What do I know? I'm human too. So I am liking EDBL. She's got all the catalysts that we need. Revenues are growing. Profits are growing. We have stockholder equity. They just did a merger with a company that's doing very strong over in Europe, going to bring $20 million over to here. We're going to get our products there. They're going to get their products here. It's a dream merger, folks. I like Edible. Do some more homework. Do some more due diligence. I think you'll get as excited as I did. But in the meantime, for bloody hell's sake, put it on your watch list now. EDBL. Watch for the volume to come in. Make your play. Good luck, folks. Remember, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. See ya.